What up, players? It's Warboss Tip in this mug. This Alchemite Warforger miniature. It's only available in Cities of Sigmar Army box right now, as of now. But hopefully they'll be releasing it on its own in the future. It was so easy to build. Everything went together intuitively. All of the seams and the joins match up perfectly, and there are no strange, weird separations of the different parts that fit together like a weird puzzle Pandora box. Everything went together smoothly, and this model is very intuitive, and I think they're gearing it towards new hobbyists and new modelers because it's just so simple to put together. It's one of the easiest models that I've ever built and assembled, and I really appreciate it. Here we've got the Freeguild Marshal and the relic holder. Now with the Alchemite Warforger, you don't get any extra bits on the sprue. Everything on the sprue gets used. But with the Freeguild Marshal here, I used him with this head option and with the two pistols. So anyway, I started blasting, pew, pew, pew. And that means that the rest of these options are not used and will go into the bits box, which I love. I love having extra bits. Unfortunately, the weapons don't stand on their own. As you can see, this hammer is attached to a hand. This amazing shield is attached to a hand, so you're gonna need to shave off those fingers and this glove. Everything is attached to a hand, or they're an arm, or they're like a part of a helmet. So you do get a couple of swords here, so that, I guess that's good. You get one sword that's complete. This one has a weird little notch at the bottom. But yeah, like this helmet is not supposed to be used on a head. It's supposed to be held by his offhand, which is, oh, right there. So you just have this hand holding onto the helmet. It sits right in the crook there, and then attach that to his right shoulder. So the only things that I would say you have to use that you can salvage for your bits box without any extra shaving, like this, like look, the shield. You're gonna need to not only shave off the hand, but also the arm. That's too bad. Oh, there's two shields. Oh my goodness. One in the right hand, one in the left. What if somebody built up a Freeguild Marshal with two shields? God, that'd be hilarious. You've got two heads here that should be usable for other miniatures. Unfortunately, because the head is sitting down so far into the torso, these heads, the pegs in them might not work with other miniatures. Because if you know how other miniatures look, the torsos have like a little groove for the head to go into, but that might not be as deep as these pegs are. And then they're missing part of their neck. So I don't even know if these heads are salvageable. But I do like the variety. I do like the different look in these heads. Yeah, different ethnicities. Just the sculpt of them is really nice. I like the back of the shields too. Like, you're never gonna see it, but look at that brass work and the grain, wood grain on the back of the shield. Like, no one's gonna see that, ever. No one's ever gonna see that, but it looks terrific. Same thing there. Ah, sad. Anyways, that's all you get on the sprue. There is one other hand holding a sword. I clipped it off because I thought it was gonna go onto the Relic Envoy, but the Relic Envoy is actually not holding a sword point down into the ground. The arm is connected to his head. So it's an interesting little design trick where when you're assembling this model came together so easily. It's just three pieces. The torso with the legs, and then this arm was a separate piece, and then the head with the sword and the arm. So fun to put together. Like I said, the Alchemite Warforger was one of my favorite models to assemble just because it's so simple and it's really intuitive and easy for a new hobbyist to grasp, and like you put it together and you feel good about yourself. It's one of those models where you're not putting a lot of energy into figuring out how things are supposed to match up, and at the end of the day you just sit back and you feel good about it. Okay, the rest of the Cities of Sigmar box, the army box, is 20 of these steel helms, and they all go together like how normal standard infantry goes together. You have torsos and torsos are usually attached to the legs, maybe one leg or the other. And then you just choose the weapons and the heads options. Yeah, see, torso with the leg, and then you choose the arms and the heads. These seem like a little bit more involved. I wasn't able to get to them on today's stream, but I love the look of all of the heads. There's so much character in these. They look really, really great. One of my, not complaints, but one of the things that I remember about the old Warhammer Fantasy models, Bretonnians as well as Empire, the human models, they all had similar looking faces. The only difference was, is their mouth set in a grimace, or were they frowning with their lips closed? Were they wearing a poofy hat with a feather, or were their heads bare, or were they covered with a little leather cap? These are all interesting looking faces, and their steel helms look different too. They don't all match up. They don't look uniform. So I'm going to be looking forward to building them. This is probably going to be like a part 1 of a 2 or 3 part series where I'm going to build up the models, and then I'm going to give you my review on them afterwards. One of the things that I find doesn't really work for me anymore is taking a look at the sprues before I build them. Because it's one thing to look at a sprue and discuss the quality of what you're seeing, but it's only when you really build a model and you can see afterwards, well, what do I have left on this sprue? What can I salvage? What can I save? This is the valuable part to me. When I can share my experience as a hobbyist with you, my audience, let you know what worked, what didn't work. And like with the Lilith Hesprax video, if I had only shown you the model on the sprue and I said, okay, that's what you get, have a good time building it, but I didn't actually go through the hell and the pain and the torture of putting that thing together, then I wouldn't be able to tell you that it was a complete nightmare, that you should go out and get the Artel W Miniatures alternative, Grand Mistress Maevia, instead. Link down below in the comments. But if you want to get a full experience of what it was like to build the models, I think that's the style of video I'm going to go for. So I'm going to build the models, I'm going to show you the sprue, give you an idea of what you get left over after you're done building it, and I'm going to give you my insight on what it was like to build the models. So this has been the Freeguild Marshal and the Alchemite Warforger. In the next video, we're gonna hopefully build up some cavalry, and I'll let you know how that goes, and then we'll wrap up with some steel helms, and then I'll be able to show you the entire Cities of Sigmar army box. I've got a link down below in the description if you missed getting yours. I think every store only got a limited amount, but you would like to pick one up, I hope you click on the link down below. I was able to find the vendor that sells it for $170 American, and no matter where you are in the world, it'll find the nearest comparable match. So I hope it can get you some savings, and with that Amazon shipping, I think it'll be really good. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this new style of unboxing video, and stay tuned for many more Warboss videos on the Cities of Sigmar, as well as everything else that I'm working on. So anyway, I started blasting. Pew, pew, pew.